Hello, this is Sameer Desai, founder of Seagull Advertising. I welcome you to Dreamers to Doers. Today's episode has a chip designer with us, a chip designer based in the United States, and he has a day job designing chips, some of the world's best companies. His night job, his weekend job, his holiday job, his travel job is helping India to keep toilets clean. And we'll talk about this in this episode. Amol, welcome to this episode of Dreamers to Doers. It's great that you could take out time on this short trip of yours in India, and we'd love to understand your journey, your story about ToiletSeva. So to start, Amol, tell me what brings you to do ToiletSeva?
Thank you, Sameer. Everybody, namaskar. How did I think about toilets? I think that's what you're probably asking, right?
Yes.
So, I was born and brought up in Pune, Sameer. I did my education, high school in a school called Namovi, which is one of the oldest school in Pune, Nutan Maradi Vidyalaya. Then I did my engineering from Government College of Engineering Pune, CIP, again one of the premium institutes in the country, one of the oldest one. After my bachelor's, couple of years I worked here, and in 2000 I went to US to do my master's in electrical engineering, which is electronics engineering. And after my master's from University of Minnesota, I moved to Austin, Texas around 2002, 2003, 2002. And then almost 23 years I have been working in the field of this chip design with leading companies, and I truly enjoy doing that, by the way. But while doing that, whenever I come over to India, Sameer, right, I used to feel why we don't have this clean public washrooms, right? Whenever you step outside the home, back of the mind, always there is a fear, am I going to find a clean washroom? And public is a little loose word, we'll talk more about that. But even though I've been thinking, right, okay, there is always, an event which happens when you say, I must do it now. So a few years back, I came to Pune during Diwali, Sameer, and I was in this area called Lakshmi Road in Pune, right? It's known for shopping, and my family was with me. And we went to some jewelry shop, rather she went to some jewelry shop. My wife,
a fancy jewelry shop?
It's a fancy, one of the biggest jewelry shops. And then she did shopping. I was bored, looking around, reading newspaper, and then they were serving this kind of coffee, right, every half an hour, nice air conditioning atmosphere everywhere. And then after 3 hours, 2 hours, time to check out. But then before checking out, I usually go to my house in Kothur, right, because I know this washroom fear is always there. But that day, we are planning to go to some restaurant nearby. We thought, we are here anyway, let's go to some restaurant nearby. It will take another hour or two. So I thought, oh, what should I do about washroom? Because that restaurant was not a big shop. It was a small kind of eatery over there. So I said, let me use a washroom here. This is a big jewelry shop. They must have got a nice washroom.
Nice washroom.
Looking around, right? So I asked somebody, and they showed me back of the shop, there was a toilet. And I tried to go there. I tried to enter the toilet. I couldn't. And it was very filthy, dirty. It's okay if toilet is not Western. It's okay Indian. I was born here. But it has to meet some basic cleanliness criteria, right? It was so dirty, I had to just literally go back and talk to the store manager. And he looked at me and said, okay, yeah, basa zara, right? You just have a seat. We'll clean it up, right? You check out, pay money basically. And then I was naive. I said, great, you clean it up, we'll pack up here. We paid money again, went back, and toilet was still dirty. And the guy looked at me and said, oh, you're the only one who have problem. Nobody here has a problem in the store. So he put me in a box for no reason, as if I'm making an offense here.
Correct.
By requesting access to a toilet which is meant for customers, right? And I already, gold costs money. We have paid lakhs of money, right, to do this. It's not cheap. This is not a small shop, right? Small chai shop or anything like that. And I got out and I was very mad, upset, and then I started sharing story with a lot of my friends with the name of the shop, as I'm not going to go there again. I chose an alternative, started going there, but I kept thinking about
Amol,
that.
if I'm correct, you also mentioned about that you and your family went for a religious tour.
Yeah.
To the north of India. And
correct.
Can you also?
Yeah, I did actually. That's a good reminder. And so I went to a place called Devaprayag, which is further north of Rishikesh. Beautiful, right? Bhagirathi and Alaknanda come together, and Ganga gets formed, right? And from Rishikesh another 2 hours, and we went there. And typically people tell me, oh, no worries about washroom, you'll find mall or some decent restaurant. There is nothing there somewhere. You just look at the river and there is nothing. Small Maggie shop, chai stall. You look around, there is nothing. And even there is no tree as well to hide out. There's nothing, literally. And I was said, this is all good, but I need to use the washroom because we ate in Rishikesh, right? So we literally knock on the door of somebody, say, please, let me use the washroom. And they allowed me to use the washroom. So you're right. So it's just not about Pune, that one experience.
Tell me, so what you're really saying is that the case that you gave of that Pune very large jewelry store who had a very unclean and unhygienic washroom, to when you went into the Himalayas for a religious thing, there you found there's no washroom at all, right? So this is, in marketing we normally call this as a pain point, a need gap. But people tend to look at a need gap from a commercialization point of view. So where they can make a business and they can make money.
Right.
How did you see this need gap? What were you thinking? What came to your mind?
So you're right, Samir. And the pain point is the first step. And then I started thinking, what can I do basically, right? I can keep telling lots of people, I can write a Twitter blog, I can give interviews to somebody, but that won't have lasting impact, right? Okay. So then I said, what do I need? What am I looking as a selfish person, right? I said, I need to find a clean washroom. And I started going backward from there, basically. What does it really mean, right? Then that means there should be a database of clean washroom that need to be up to date. Then the provider need to take an action if somebody complains or ratings issues happen. So I need a full-fledged technology platform. So it was a eureka moment. Oh, probably I need an app basically to do that. And then I met a co-founder in Austin. His name is Nikhil. And instead I discussed with him, he's a developer. And we started thinking more and more about that. I said, we need to develop something like this only for India, only for toilet. And we did look at the comparable options, right? For example, whenever something like this happened, people say, oh, look on Google, right? And we did that. But then we realized Google being one of the best companies in the world, there is no doubt, it's not customized for this Indian toilet story, right? I'm not saying they will never do that.
So Amol, just a question here before we get into this and how and what you do in ToiletSeva. But normally my question is because on this podcast we have a number of entrepreneurs. Most businesses we've seen which do well are purpose driven. You are purpose driven. But in your conversations, I remember right from the beginning, I always asked you, Amol, where's your commercialization? Where's the money? And I distinctly remember you told me, Samir, I've not thought about it as yet.
That's true.
And that's been kind of surprising for me because, for anybody like us who's working with you, there's a cost associated with it.
Right.
And my concern with early stage companies is if they're not earning money, how will they be able to sustain and probably even pay our fees? Did you think when you were talking to Nikhil about how are we going to manage the money, how people are going to pay us, or you've decided to solve a problem first and then think of money later?
I think it was probably the later, right? First we said, let's solve the problem, right? Let's impact millions or billions of people. And we thought that once we do that, once we have something impactful, the commercialization or revenue model will get built. And there are pros and cons. I don't think we were right as well, to be honest with you. We should have thought more about it, and we were maybe in your language.
Was it a love for India?
It was
it your feeling that I need to give back, and it's okay. I'm doing so well in the US, and let me do my bit, and let's see what happens.
It is the first thing you have in this podcast, right? Dreamers, right? We said, okay, we are dreamers. Let's try to do something, right? Once we try to do something will show up on the way. Once we try to solve the problem, right? We had ideas what may materialize. We were not sure. And then instead of keeping it on the board, we thought if we deliver some part of the solution, we'll find avenues basically after jumping into the water basically.
So if I can just state this better, what you're saying is I saw a need gap, personal experiences, personal pain points, and many entrepreneurs actually find opportunities from their personal pain points. So you saw this personal pain point. You said, okay, one thing that you understand extremely well is systems, technology, databases. You said, how can I solve this problem? So like you said, that eureka moment. Can I create a database of clean toilets? So people, if and when they want to find one, they can do it. Next thing which you mentioned, I'm just trying to get this into context. You said, okay, there's a big boy called Google. He also is a search. He also maintains things. But he's not as focused on toilets as what you can be on. And that focus is extremely important. And while doing all this, You say, let's keep the money thing aside. Let's focus on the task at hand, and we'll figure out commercialization as we go along.
Right.
Have I got this right so far?
That is correct. And one, should I use a word, mistake or maybe one glitch we had, in my opinion, this is the real story, right? We underestimated the state space. We underestimated the scope. There's no doubt about that. And we were extremely optimistic as well. I'm still optimistic.
You're fantastic.
But I'm getting,
yeah, I know.
I'm still optimistic, but I'm getting more to realistic as well now after so many years of journey, just like you spoke in the beginning, right? We thought that let's solve the problem, and once a lot of people join us, we'll figure it out. Is it to the advertising, either with some sponsorship? Is it something, there is something we'll figure out, and we're going to talk later as well how now we have figured out a way that what should be the revenue model just to sustain this, right? We never thought that this is going to be a billionaire kind of activity and those kind of stuff. Let's help people basically, and hopefully some kind of revenue model will get built so that this can sustain, because if you are not able to sustain at least the operating cost, then this will fail.
So
right?
Amol, very quickly, just a definition of what ToiletSeva does.
Yeah.
People understand who's seeing this, what is really a product.
Sure. So it has two simple words, toilet and Seva, and Samir probably remembers how we came up with that as well. We had some different name in the beginning.
Correct.
And working with Seagull, first 3 months, I think we spent what should be the name. I know, I think Shakespeare says, right, what's there in the name, right? But there is, and I know Samir and team has fundamental problem with the name we had, because we initially said we want to search toilet. So we are thinking something around that search and toilet. I was very keen on having toilet in the name, and then say, what is it really? And then one day we came up with this Seva thing, and then ToiletSeva happened. So it's a Seva, it's a service to the community related to toilets, out of home toilets basically. And it gives ability to people search for toilet. And how will they search? They can also add toilet basically, and they can rate toilet, they can submit issues for the toilet, and we can do a lot of custom stuff. For example, for the toilet, it's not just latitude, longitude, just the address. What's inside the toilet? Theoretically, that jewelry store in Pune where I struggle a lot also had a toilet, but it was not meeting my expectation or most of the people expectation. So we came up with like a 21, 22 amenities inside the toilet. Let it be wash basin, liquid soap. Is it a Western Indian type of toilet, right? Does it have toilet paper, or is it sanitary napkin? Is it handicapped, disabled people friendly? We came up with all that, and we want to make sure people, once that data is there, people can filter. For example, if I go to Lakshmi Road, going back to the story, we should be able to search for a jewelry store which meets my expectation. Like it has got liquid soap, it got wash basin, and hopefully there will be many choices, because when there are choices, people do it's good for business, it's good for people actually, customers. And going back to jewelry again, we are never saying that it's a public toilet. That's why we always say it's an out of home toilet.
Correct. The right term is out of home. Otherwise people think public toilet is essentially a government toilet.
Right. And we will talk about that as well. We play in that domain as well. But the out of home toilet owned by businesses only for their customer, which is okay, right? I was their customer, right? Spend lakhs of rupees basically. So we can do that filtering basically, going back to ToiletSeva app, and then you can see the refined result maybe nearby your location or wherever you're going, those kind of stuff. Then you can see we have some cool features. For example, see, whenever new restaurant opens somewhere on a highway, typically restaurant is new, toilet will be clean.
Correct.
3 months later, you try to go to same place, it won't be that at par, right? So we have something called last 2 weeks rating, last 3 months rating, so that you can see up to date what are the ratings. We have something called report an issue, and the issues will be visible to people, and you will also see the status of the issues, whether provider, we only enable provider to basically resolve the issue. So it's a full-fledged ecosystem related to toilet, right? We also have another feature, Samir, where of course the most important probably is a QR code. Every toilet get a QR code, and people can scan the QR code, which is hopefully displayed on the toilet for providers, our Seva partner, we call them, people, and then they can scan using the app, or you can do it from the phone as well, phone camera, so you can directly give ratings and those kind of stuff. We also have another good feature, in my opinion, differentiating, called as a network one, level 1 network, where you can see ratings given by your network, and your network is pretty much your phone contacts basically. So you can see the refined results basically. So many features we kept on upgrading ourselves just to provide a full-fledged technology platform. The last but not the least, and we'll probably talk about that later, but we also have now some special modules built up for provider, and that's what I think we should talk later on.
Sure. So what I'm understanding, this is purpose driven. The whole idea is like we speak every time, every toilet, clean toilet.
Yeah.
You have this entire rating process so that like your earlier experiences, if somebody is looking for a toilet, he can of course find toilet, but he also gets a filtered version, a review, a rating, a filtration of the toilets that are available to him or her.
Correct.
Now Amol, great, the tech part has never been a challenge for you. Yeah, I mean those are improvements. They're kind of in your and Nikhil's system. But what I have seen is the challenge of getting people to adopt has been quite a task.
Yes.
Would you like to talk about your early challenges or even your continuing challenges?
Yes, absolutely, Samir. You're right. So we focus on tech. We got a lot of stuff. And 3 years back, I think we launched the app, ToiletSeva app. And initially, for 6 months, we thought, we will focus on people, users, millions of people in the country who face this problem. They complain as well. Whenever we meet, everybody complains, those kind of stuff. And we thought people will really jump onto this. We always wanted app to be free to people. There was never, and it will remain to be like that, right? So we thought people will add thousands of toilets. They will rate toilet. We did provide about 127,000 all over the country, some probable speculative toilet, like places like, for example, petrol pumps, I know government has announced that every petrol pump should have a toilet, or theoretically a clean toilet as well.
Correct, absolutely.
And then so we focus on petrol pump or some of the chains like McDonald's, Starbucks, Cafe Coffee Day, where there should be a toilet or there is. So we kind of did some data mining, provided that data, but we were relying also on people to rate those toilets. Also, people will add many thousands of toilets because everybody's traveling, they go to restaurant. It's like a 30 seconds thing in the ToiletSeva to add it. And the database will grow very quickly. And that's the whole thing. This is a crowdsourcing based platform really. That's what we wanted to offer. Unfortunately, and we also were in 6 months, and we also approached some private party actually providers. Can they help us and those kind of stuff? But after 6 months, we realized that's not working out. And you were part of this journey, Samir, you remember this, right? So we changed the direction and we said, we really need to get the providers on our side. And then who is the biggest provider of toilets in India, out of home toilet? Whether we like, dislike, agree, disagree, government really owns most of the public toilet, out of home toilets, And then I said, okay, well, that's great, government. And we are always afraid whenever that government would show, especially I'm outside country for such a long time. And in general, we have apathy towards really government folks. And we are always worried this is not going to work because of the red tape and bureaucracy. But then one nice day, I dared to walk into municipal corporation, the Pune Municipal, Pimpri-Chinchwad Municipal, Pune Jilla Parishad, and try to ask questions like, where can I find this information? Forget about my technology. And they told me, okay, it's available that long on Google, the usual. Then I explained to them why this is not sufficient and type of things we want to make it available. We should make it available to people is this. And fortunately, I met really good people at that time. Commissioner for both municipal corporation or CEO for the Jilla Parishad. And they said, okay, let me give an opportunity to you. Fantastic. And we worked for almost 6 months, more than 6 months. It took them a lot of time to get the data because they didn't have that data. That itself was a good thing for me. Good and bad thing. Bad thing, it was not there, so you'd have to put efforts to get it. But then I knew what we are trying to do is not done by anybody else. Otherwise, they would have said it's a solved problem. Here is the data in Excel or whatever platform, it was not there.
So I want to ask you a question. You met so many senior government decision makers, right? Do they really think, I'm just asking, but Swachh Bharat has been a kind of a clarion call right from the Prime Minister.
Right.
Okay, he's been talking about Swachh Bharat. We have a Swachh Bharat Din also, 2nd of October.
Right.
Lot of efforts taken.
Right.
Yeah. Do really people care about Swachh Bharat or Swachh toilets? Is it really a problem that anybody wants to solve?
I think...
besides you.
I think, no, definitely. People are working on it. There's a lot of changes, good changes in the country in the last few years. Absolutely, there's no doubt. I think you made a point about we, by the way, right? We have to understand we are part of it, right? I think I always quote something from this guy, American philosopher Eldridge Cleaver. You might have heard me saying that. If you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Okay. So absolutely government has a stake, right? But at the same time, what are we doing or what can we do at our level, at least to be part of the solution? So ToiletSeva has always been an attempt actually to be part of the solution, right? So these three folks we met, fortunately they understood at least, and they said, I'll give you an opportunity to you. And we did talk about Swachh app. We looked at it by the way. Swachh Bharat mission also, I met the head as well in Delhi. Yeah. And I know it doesn't have the feature which ToiletSeva has, or it does have good stuff, I'm not saying. But we want to make it available to people. That's our goal, right? It's not like one day Swachh Sarvekshan happens, somebody writes it on the walls, paint, and it's all great, the rankings happen. The reality is that there are 40 lakh people, I think, in Pune. Is that right number now? It's growing.
Much more.
Because I don't know, it's growing with this Pune municipal.
If I'm correct, PMC should have about, now PMC, PCMC, maybe a little mix. But we are close to at least 7 to 8 million people.
Yeah, so 7 to 8 million people, right? And so let's say 6 million in Pune or whatever, 3 million in PCMC, Pinprajijwar, right? 6 million people, hardly anybody, it's not a criticism, but hardly anybody ever ask about it, how many public toilets we have in Pune and what is inside this toilet, right? And I'm not trying to get credit for myself, but I was surprised about that, or nobody even talking about it. The question I came across, others hopefully had come across as well, I'm not saying that. So taking fast forward, basically they put efforts, no doubt, and then 6 months PMC took, PCMC took 6 months, PCMC even hired a lot of people, they went literally lane by lane to get the data inside ToiletSeva. And at the end of 6 months, and Jilla Parishad also did a lot of effort to get the data because they had built a lot of toilets through Swachh Bharat mission, but they were not able to track them actually. So IDs were missing. Unique IDs and QR code or everything what we are trying to do. So they were very happy to see this, okay? How can I see the situation, those kind of thing. And after 6 months, we had an answer, it's about 1200, I believe, 1180, right? Something PMC has got public toilet, and ToiletSeva was the first and the only platform, Samir, to make this information available publicly beyond the Babu's walls or some Excel spreadsheets, basically. You go to ToiletSeva now, even though you will see it, it may not be up to date anymore.
So I want to ask you one thing, Amol, and we've again discussed this quite often. Yeah. So see, yours has been pain, yours has been a purpose, a mission to give back something to India.
Yeah.
I do understand that you're a part of the American community who is sensitive and positive to what's happening in India.
Yeah.
Correct? And you actively contribute to that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm fully aware of that. You've been doing ToiletSeva, I think now what, close to 3 years?
3 years back we launched it, Samir, but then we started working maybe 5 years before that.
5 years.
So you're giving last 7, 8 years, 8 years at least.
7, 8 years you've been
8 years.
See, I've seen one thing. What changes in India, and what you mentioned is that people change. We are part of the problem, right? And you've said it extremely well. Okay, that if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I've been seeing, and especially the jewelry stores, etc. Pune has changed now. Many of the company you're talking about is now a listed company.
Yeah.
Okay, there is serious money out there. Their showrooms experiences are improving. Yeah, but in general, if somebody has to use an out-of-home toilet, okay, I'm traveling by bus or I'm taking a cab and going somewhere, do I get a clean out-of-home toilet?
Unfortunately not, Samir, right? That's what is the problem, right? Last week only actually, I went with my mother. My mother is 80 plus, by the way, right? We went to Indore, okay? And one of the cleanest city, I believe, in India, right?
Indore is rated, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We went to Indore and we went to Maheshwar, we went to Omkareshwar, Ujjain, Mahakal. Unbelievable experience, very nice by the history, religion, everything. But the challenge remains the same, right? Where am I going to find clean out-of-home toilets?
So could you find?
No. We struggle so much and I feel guilty. Honestly, I got upset with my mother. It's not her fault. It is our fault that we are not able to offer clean washroom to her as a senior citizen. We went to Maheshwar from Indore. We went there, 1.5 hours it takes. First thing, Narmada is great. I was very blessed to see that. But where is the toilet there? Then we requested a lodge owner, can I use it? It was, to be honest, below average. But you cannot go in the open. Then we use another cafe, same situation, right? So ground level reality. And on purpose I make these trips. I went to Bangalore as well, right? Last year, right? I went there, travel around Bangalore as well. And I find the same thing, right? We are, I think reason it struck me, maybe I'm thinking about it. Others have given up on the system, or they adjust their lifestyle accordingly. They're going to drink less water. Then they know how to manage a day, basically, and they have zero expectation. Because I went to Bangalore to Mysore last year. I'll give example to you, Samir, right? I think I probably told you, right? Again with my mother, and maybe there are people from Bangalore here as well. And I had local, every time people say two things. You should have somebody local, ask local people, or ask the taxi wala who is with you. And it doesn't work out. Local family I had, I think they were very tolerant people. They don't care. They somehow adjust. They accepted it, basically. I maybe get upset more. We went to Mysore Palace. You know, it was flooded with thousands of people there in around Christmas time.
Right? It's lovely.
And here's the interesting thing, Samir. We are asked to remove even shoes.
Correct. I've been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remove shoes with my mother. Right, no sign of toilet anywhere. Right, there are two toilets, public toilet kind of. You have to walk.
And
basically.
it's paid entry.
Right. Yeah, of course it's a paid entry. But those toilets also they charge 10 rupee whatever, which I don't mind. They can charge 50 rupees, Samira. I have no problem. A lot of people in the country are willing to pay 50 rupees if they get guaranteed clean washroom, basically. But the toilet was very dirty. And then what happened is, as soon as somehow she used it, we went to hotel as well in Mysore restaurant, dirty toilet, very dirty toilet.
So tell me, I'm going to say something very, very hard and harsh.
Right.
I've not actually said this on any other episode earlier. Do you get a feeling sometimes, I know you're optimistic, do you get a feeling sometimes that ToiletSeva has not achieved what you and Nikhil set out to achieve? Do you feel sometimes that ToiletSeva is a failure?
Yes and no. Okay. Definitely there are frustration moments, especially with the time, money we have spent, whatever we have compromised.
Your important time, you could be having a holiday.
I could have done all these things, right? We have families as well. It's not like we don't have family, right? Wife, son, mother, all the responsibility. A lot of things are there, right? We are compromising every holiday, every weekend, every day. Whenever we find time, we say we're going to let's do this, basically make progress, right? So there are moments like that, but at the same time, I think we should talk about some success stories or some promising stuff in Pune we are doing, right?
Okay.
So
you are doing something with a palki.
Right. Let's talk a couple of things, right?
And how many hundreds of thousands of people are going to be benefited?
Right. So we'll talk about two success stories which I feel really nice about that, and there are a couple of more in the pipeline which I may not be able to talk today, but they'll get announced very soon. So one of them is. I should talk about Maha Metro, which is Maharashtra Metro, which is Pune Metro and Navi Mumbai Metro and Nagpur Metro.
Correct.
Pune, my hometown, I always try to start at Pune. And then when I was doing this PMC, PCMC Jilla Parishad, I was going up and down kind of thing, right? And I said, let me just try another avenue, Pune Metro. And then I went there and fortunately, I think we have a leadership which is very supportive, and I'm not going to hesitate to take his name because he deserves full credit, and of course I know him for many years. His name is Shravan Hardikar. He heads this Maha Metro.
Fantastic.
And he is my CAP. He was from the same college as mine, right? Basically, so we know each other. Government College of Engineering, Pune. He was my junior, a couple of years, right? And a very bright IS officer. And he and his team actually, they gave a chance to us again, just like other people. We worked for a year. And more importantly, they were interested in this. They have 28 metro stations now, 27, 28. Their toilets are meant for their travelers, which is fine. That's the protected area, ticketed area, right? But more importantly, they are willing to take action on the issues reported by people. I think
they want the toilets to be reported.
Right. They want, the main part of this, just like we spoke in the past, right? It's not about more and more app downloads or those kind of things. That motto has gone. It's about even the one issue reported by a random ToiletSeva user whom I don't know, nobody knows. If that issue gets resolved by a government official, I feel really nice that day, basically. For example, you can go, and this is open to everybody by the way. More importantly, this is not closed loop, closed door or something like that. You go to now ToiletSeva app, you select a filter called Pune Metro, you'll see 27 metro station. I think they got another one recently, but 27. And you can sort by number of closed issues. We have another option now called sort by number of closed issues, number of open issues. We got a lot of options. We got number of ratings as well. We got another option. I'll give one example to you, and anybody can see this. There is a station called Ramwadi.
Yes.
Okay. 22 issues were reported for that station, and you can read it, what people have reported, the real issues, right? Oh, water is whatever there, the floor is filthy, smell is bad, whatever, or some locks are not working, and you can read them, Marathi, Hindi, English, whatever language people have reported. And credit to Shravan sir's team, and then also we have a couple of more officials there. I should take their name, Hemant sir and Sujit sir, right? Hemant Sonone sir and Sujit Kanade sir, and they're all partner. They look at it weekly basis, daily basis, and they try to achieve it. And I think there are 80 issues are reported by now, and I think 74 are already resolved, close. Okay. So if you look at the percentage, it's 85-90% whatever. Nagpur Metro got 40 issues, 100% resolved. And then there is a Navi Mumbai still coming up.
And this is actually the purpose you had. You wanted
this
it.
Is exactly
I remember once you told me a term that I want to be a Twitter of toilets.
Yes, but more action oriented, of course, where people can see it. In Twitter, people post it, it gets traction, millions of hits. People forget about it after 2 days, right? This is sustainable dashboard. People can go anytime, see what is going on, what happened to my issue as well. There's something called my issues. You can look at it, my stuff, right?
Okay.
And I think it's a pleasant feeling, right? Sure, we get frustrated, but as I said, at least some issues are getting resolved. Somebody is looking at it with full visibility, nothing hidden there. And that's what gives the joy, basically.
So which was the second success case?
So the second success, Samir, is this Wari or Palki, which you are alluding to, basically. So Palki tradition or Wari from Alandi to Pandharpur, this is about 700 plus years tradition, right? Starting from Sant Jnaneshwar, those days. It took hundreds of years for us, right, to realize what do these Warkaris, right? Where do they go for toilets? Right. And then I think 7-8 years back, the program like Nirmal Wari started, and then they started deploying this mobile toilet, which is a good thing, right? But then we are way up now, step forward this year, and thanks to again Pune Jilla Parishad, and I need to mention some names because there is a CEO, Gajanan Patil sir, and then there is a additional CEO Chandrakant Wagmare sir, and there is Guzar sir, or there are Vikas sir, Ujjwala madam. They are very supportive Jilla Parishad. What they did this time, I know we are working with them for 3 years with their school toilets and other thing, but they said, this time they made it mandatory for their vendors, right? Whosoever is providing mobile toilet, to sign a MOU with ToiletSeva, right? So it's a very different thinking, and say that whatever you are doing, the technology you must use ToiletSeva technology. That's what is a term they put in the contract. And because of that, happy to tell you, Samir and everybody's right. First time I think ever in this hundreds of years, 700, the toilets information is available in a technology platform. If you go to ToiletSeva now, there are about 7,500. It's increasing now. It's 8,000 now almost. 8,000 toilets, mobile toilets information is available in a third-party technology platform, which is the non-government platform. And you know what is unbelievable with this? We just signed a MOU maybe last week. Within 3 days, 2 days, we got massive data available to people. And hats off to these suppliers as well. I think there's 2 suppliers, and I should take their name as well.
Please,
There's a Bhutani International Private Limited, BIBL, and Sera Plus Private Limited. These 2 companies are working very hard, right? And their staff put the stickers within just 1 day. They are continuously approaching us, and 2 things which we didn't talk before, which is a B2B model of this ToiletSeva, is we have something called the cleaning monitoring, and we have something called inspection supervision.
Fantastic.
Because just people, what if people don't report the issue?
Correct.
Or board don't submit the report, right?
So now the toilet, when it was cleaned, last clean, can be updated on it.
Correct. So now we have 2 models which are being heavily leveraged by these folks. Is there is a cleaning checklist, there is an inspection checklist. So there are inspectors and they're cleaning, right? And that checklist need to be completed, and then photos real time need to be uploaded, must be uploaded.
Fantastic.
And those are reviewed at the CEO's level, Jilla Parishad CEO. They get an everyday report and a dashboard, which toilets got the photos, which didn't get the photo. And back of the mind, somebody must be like, oh, photos mein kya badi baat hai, right? Photos you can take anywhere. No, these are real time photos taken. We verify where are they coming from, which latitude to longitude. So it cannot happen the toilet was located maybe in Pandharpur or whatever, and the photo is from Alandi. Okay. We will report that as a discrepancy, basically, right? Not like we are not distrusting people, we are distressed, but at the same time technology has to work, basically. And first thing, this massive data, real time is going on. You know how many workers go, maybe 25 lakh or maybe more than that.
A huge number.
So this gives a joy that even though that worker may not be literate with the technology, because we know they cannot give ratings, we knew that they cannot submit issues, but we are building a system which is correct by construction. where we monitor the cleaning, we do the inspection, and Jilla Parishad is monitoring, looking at it basically.
Fantastic.
So this is great. I know a lot of technologists as well. I know a lot of Pune city friends also went for a wari this year. They're still going this new tradition, this thing. I would urge them to use the mobile toilet and help workers who are not techno savvy. Report issues. Say, I'll tell you 20 issues were reported, all of them were resolved. And you can see that in the app.
So what you're really kind of evolving to is that ToiletSeva is just not about finding or searching a clean toilet or a filtration of toilet. Now ToiletSeva is also getting morphed into a process, which can ensure a clean toilet.
Yeah.
So with the cleaning, function,
Correct.
with the inspection function.
Yeah.
So even if somebody doesn't report,
Yep.
the company or the senior management has a
Yep.
mechanism by which
Yep.
they can ensure this
That's
is
correct,
in
Samir.
place.
That's correct.
So this is great. Amol, while we are on this topic, and like you, whom I would just, in my terms, is like a good citizen of India.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody who really wants to do good. Yeah, there are other people who feel at times they get motivated. Sometimes it's from pain, sometimes from frustration, sometimes from genuinely doing well.
Yeah.
What is your advice to them if they want to start some kind of seva or some kind of a public service organization?
Yeah.
How should they be thinking?
That's a great question, Samir, right? First thing is, of course, you have to dream. There is nothing wrong with that. Part of the solution, we always discuss that, right? But I have few pieces of advice, right? One of them is also understanding the critical path for this, right? What is going to be the critical path? I know you always talk about who are the friends of the brand and those kind of your terms basically, but what is a critical path? And I think it's okay to be a dreamer, but daydreaming is bad, right? In the sense we have to be realistically aggressive, right? Basically understanding really how is this going to sustain. Also not over optimistic, because just like beware that a lot of it's a free stuff meant for the country. Swachh, people complain, that means they will do it basically. That may not happen, because I will give example to you. Pune Metro, right? I think they are doing a fantastic job, or Nagpur Metro, or even Mumbai Metro is now jumping in with us basically very soon. Part of the frustration really is going to be people for whom we are trying to do this, right? Public toilet we started, and a lot of people told me, government public toilet, PMC, PCMC, whatever, hum log to udhar jate hi nahi, right? Why should I worry about it? I don't go to this thing. Okay, let's work with Metro. Correct. We travel by Metro, a lot of people. 100,000 people travel by Pune Metro every day. So right? So that's a huge thing. In all these 3 metros, we are working 300,000 almost every day, right? So these are educated people. Many of them do these e-tickets and all that, right? Correct. Think of this 100,000 Pune Metro, 10,000 must be thinking about using the washroom. Correct. Right? Maybe 1,000 of them actually use the washroom. Out of this 1,000, even 100 people give rating and submit issues, right? Then people will get feedback. Metro will get feedback. But that's not happening. Altogether, we got only 80 issues reported right now, after probably months of effort, right? So that's what is the realization ultimately. And I just met my high school friends today for breakfast, and we were talking about it. I said, oh, I went there, this was bad. I said, why don't you report? Or this was good. Oh yeah, we have to download the app. I said, then why are you complaining? Correct. See, complaining is easy. We are given a platform to people. Use that as a forum, as a grievances or whatever.
So if I understand is, when you're saying the critical path, you may have a great idea. What you're saying, don't be a dreamer, be a doer. Right. Get down to it. But things may not work out the way you expect them to. Right. People may not respond.
That's correct. And and that's why we change the direction, right? Working with government or working with provider, and it also goes to the commercialization. See, ToiletSeva is, we are not trying to earn millions of dollars profit and all that. We just want to sustain, because if you don't sustain, basically, at least the operating costs need to be covered, because it's a social initiative. If you don't get sufficient income something, then it would fail, because how much long we can stretch it out? Because we are not a big rich families, right? Me or Nikhil, we came from very humble middle class background, right? We are there for a while, that's correct, but at the same time we have limited resources, right?
So the point that you're mentioning is that you also need to figure out how you can if I can use the word monetize it, or
Monetize.
how you can attract financial resources
Yep.
to cover that cost, and that's been a challenge.
Absolutely,
And that kind
right?
of continues to be a challenge.
That continues to be the challenge basically, and also figuring out honestly somewhere who are the real doers in this community. There are a lot of people I have interacted in last 8 years, right? People do a lot of talking in our country, and they will do see a lot of nice words on the forum, right? Maybe virtual media or whatever places. As soon as they go out of that podium, I try to talk to them. I said, oh, like, can we do something? And I'm not asking for money, right? I'm saying, how can we collaborate together? Maybe they're in the adjacent field and they can make money as well, or they can take advantage of it, whatever they want to do it, because I'm not here in India anyways, basically. Most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, 95% of my experience has been bitter experience, where I have to follow up with people so much as if, are you not interested? Everybody, right? Socio-political people, industrialists, where I had a lot of hopes. He's a great guy, right? He just gave an interview in the newspaper yesterday talking about toilets at the auditorium, Nataguru and all that. Oh, it should be very easy because they're talking about it. Okay. But he said, okay, can you make a 1-minute video for me, right? On the YouTube, simple stuff, right? Something. Then they will hesitate to even do that. That's what I don't understand, right? Okay. So, but there are a lot of good people as well who did it without even meeting. I didn't even meet them, but they heard about it, right?
So, Amol, I want to ask you,
right.
This is a platform.
Right.
It may reach different types of people. Some people whom you've been trying hard to reach and reach
right.
out to. If I were to ask you, what are the 2 or 3 support aspects, collaboration aspects that you would hope to attract?
Yeah.
I believe that if you put the message out, somebody might see it, and that might be a break that might help you. So what kind of help, support, collaboration, partnership are you seeking?
Absolutely. So one of them is, of course, the biggest one is the government, right? I really think the IS officers in this country are empowered to make decisions, and even the political people who are running the country, basically, if they decide to do it, that, you know what?
So what do you want from them?
Right? For example, okay, they decide to do that for a particular state. I want to make the information for all public toilets available in this state, literally, or even city, whatever is it, hopefully a state, using ToiletSeva.
So basically, if there's any IS officer, politician, government officer, who has the power to keep their toilets clean, okay, or is in some way responsible, you would want them to onboard those toilets onto ToiletSeva, and ToiletSeva can also customize things for them.
Right, absolutely. So do a MOU with us, just like we have with the Pune Metro now, or Maha Metro, or we have for Wari as well, because we have figured it out with a nominal cost basing. They are our first 2 paid customers, let's call that way, with a many,
very good,
which
and
is very
congratulations.
important. Yes, thank you for that. So we want that because I think we realize doing free doesn't work out.
No, that I get it.
And I know you used to advise me that as well early days, but I learned it hard way, because Pune is my hometown. I will spend another 1,000 rupees, another thing, and then it never stops. And then once you start doing it, the seriousness gets lost. So I tell people, you tell me whatever number you're comfortable with. That's not going to cover my cost, what I spent here, honestly. But it brings its seriousness from your side primarily.
So one thing you're saying is you want the government officers, the politicians, to onboard toilets on your platform. It could be at a state level, city level, town level, whatever. What are the other kind of partnership collaboration?
So the other types, Samir, we have, of course, is the private people, right? Those folks as well, we have tried very hard. Like the jewelry store example we gave, now they are a big company with multi-store, whatever, multiple cities. There are restaurant chains who should realize there are petrol pump chains. They should really cover.
And they also have associations. So you want like these associations to also believe.
Correct.
That let's onboard onto the ToiletSeva platform.
Absolutely. And since you ask about that, the petrol pump is a good example, right? Correct. In US, in Texas, we have a petrol pump chain called as a Buc-ee's. Okay, I always give this example, Buc-ee's, and you can find it on internet, right? And this Buc-ee's, see, I'm in Texas, right? It's a headquarter of companies like Exxon, which is one of the biggest petroleum companies in the world. In this territory, 35-40 years back, a small company shows up Buc-ee's, and they built their good pocket of customer only with one USP, differentiation is a clean toilet. They have this big, huge petrol pumps on highways only, and it says on the signboard, think of this, they have a signboard you can hold for 50 miles. And people do hold for 50 miles because it's guaranteed that they have clean washroom. Do they charge?
So when you drive after
Yeah,
50 miles,
you plan.
you know you got a clean toilet.
Yeah, you got 50 miles clean toilet or another 100 miles you're going to get it once Bucky's is over, and people diligently go there. Always reliable experience. Do they charge for a washroom? No. Toilet access is free. But you go there, you're going to fill the petrol pump, you'll pay $100, you'll spend coffee, you'll get that, you'll easily spend $100, $200. Right? So that's how they have that. Because how will they compete with
So what
that?
you're really saying is for private sector,
Yeah.
these retail chains,
Yeah.
hotel chains, whether it's petrol, whether it's restaurants
Right.
or anything, yeah, you would like them to also onboard on a ToiletSeva. And what
Absolutely.
you're really saying is, it's a business edge.
It's a business case.
It's a
exactly.
business edge, you know,
Clean toilet attracts customers.
Clean
You
toilet
can win
attracts
customers.
customers.
Right?
Fantastic.
And the problem we are facing continuously in this area, since you asked me, people who have dirty toilet, they say, why should I tell others, right? Because they have dirty toilet. People who have good toilet, supposedly, why should I tell? Because people will come and they will make it dirty.
Correct.
So I always tell restaurant people, right? You hire like 100 whatever waiters here, right? Or you have 5 chefs. Can't you hire 2 janitors 24/7? It's like a Tirupati experience, right? Gandhiji said, right? Cleanliness attracts cleanliness.
I
Tirupati, you won't spit on the street because you have people around, right? Or some
Correct,
clean guy.
correct.
So that's the experience people need to offer first, right?
And what you're really saying is, bad toilets is bad business.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah? And the reverse is,
Correct.
clean toilets is good business.
Correct. And then, and we are always talking about this, but we also have to look at our children as well. Educational institute is a neglected topic in the country.
So I'll just come to that.
Right.
So what you're saying is, first sector is the government,
Right.
with its IAS officers, politicians. Second sector is private enterprises. They could be hotel chains,
Right.
restaurant chains, jewelry store
Yes.
chains, petrol pump chains,
Right.
any chains.
Right.
And you're telling your message to them is that bad toilets is bad business,
Right.
good toilets is good business.
Correct.
And you've given this fantastic example of Bucky's
Right.
in the US.
Right.
A small,
Right.
relatively small
Right.
petrol station business, which has actually built its entire business case on clean toilets.
Correct. Absolutely.
The third sector you're talking about is the educational sector.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Yeah, absolutely. See, the education, we know, right, especially girls, right, significant portion of girls basically get dropped out of public schools after a certain age, not because of just purely education, right? They don't get access to sanitation at school, basically. We have not figured out how do we guarantee clean washroom to students, especially girls. It hurts more, right? And theoretically there are toilets, but we are not figured it out. And there are private school, there are public school, doesn't matter, whatever is it, right? If they're private school, if they're charging huge amount of tuition to students, then there should not be any fear that here are the toilet, here is what offer. Parents have responsibility to ask the kid. Normally what happens, even I'm a parent, right? Arey, how was the school? Did you eat dabba? Okay, how was the teacher? How was this? Did you ask how many times they go to washroom and how was the washroom? How much water did they drink in the school? I know most of my friends' kids don't drink water 8 hours, especially in India, because they know the washroom is not clean. Even good schools in Pune. And then they're hesitant to talk about it because, Samir, it's a fear ultimately. If you talk, okay, why are you talking? That jewelry store experience, at least that was a jewelry store. I don't need to go there tomorrow. You talk about kid, the kid need to go to same school tomorrow in the same class. So why should I talk about it? What about other parent? What about other kids? And मेरा ही बच्चा थोड़ा अकेला हो जाएगा उधर.
So if I can kind of say this in a very much more simpler terms, is what you're really saying is that we as probably parents, we as professionals, we as colleagues working, we should have a conversation on toilets often. Right?
Often.
And as it is to do that, what you are asking is even the private sector, educational sector, etc., to onboard their toilets onto ToiletSeva.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there is an awareness.
Right.
Yeah, and once there's an awareness, that the probability of having clean toilets is going to grow higher.
Right, absolutely. And last but not the least, in this case, Palki as well. See, finally we did the MOU with the maintenance company or provider, toilet provider, which is not government. These are the private companies. I give example, and I really thank them actually, the Bhutani and Seraplast, right?
Correct.
They're giving us an opportunity through Jilla Parishad, right? They are providing toilet. ToiletSeva is not a toilet provider. We don't have any ground level force for maintenance and all that. But there are many of such companies, right? They are doing this maintenance, building toilet. There's a lot of new movement here, right? We urge to those people that use ToiletSeva technology as an add-on feature to what you're doing. You have ground level people, you have this thing. You will get a dashboard, you will tell a story to wherever you're getting contact that I got a technology now, so that it's correct by construction basically. I'm not just providing the toilet, I'm using technology to maintain it, inspect it, supervise it, those kind of stuff. So that's another segment where I would appeal to your audience. If somebody is like that, please contact us.
Fantastic. So Amol, my final question to you is, we've been doing work together for some time. And when did you think and why did you think of approaching Seagull advertising?
Yeah, so honestly, and Samir, you know that I didn't know about Seagull. I approached our common friend Dimak, and I must give credit to him, Dimak Sastrabuddha in Pune. And I did approach him, and he heard me and said, okay, you know what, you should talk to Samir, right? Because this is not just building a website and those kind of stuff, right? You need somebody who understands advertising and how this is going to work out conceptually right from day one. And that's how I heard about you. And it was very frustrating in the beginning because it took a lot of time, 3-4 months, especially taking just the name itself and answering the hard question. I know you conduct those surveys. Am I solving the right problem? Who are the friends of the brand? And even you get a trademark register, which actually paid off dividends after 3 years, by the way.
Okay.
I know the processes do help later on, because we didn't know about this, that trademark is important, because when we have to form the company in India, because if we're going to get the money in India, we have entity in India, in Pune. We formed it recently last year. And when you're trying to form, you need a trademark. And we got that approved because thanks to you that you filed it 3 years back, 3.5 years back. So, asking hard question is important. The team was always motivated. There is no doubt about that. But I think, as you know, it was a new stuff for them as well. So it was tons of learning for all of us together. I'm sure the team will do much better next time as well, your team, and I will also do better basically, because we don't know all answers basically. So going on social media, I'm not sure, yes, no, because there's we have to get it at the ground level, because we got a lot of views for many of our interviews, for example, but in the reality, if things don't improve, then we get frustrated. So it has to correlate, reach to the right people. Just like you asked me, who can now do it, very pinpointed. If those are the people we need and they can do it, and more awareness, people can do something, want to do something. So I think I'm thankful to you, Samir, and Seagull and everybody for helping me, because I was completely unfamiliar with this advertising, marketing, and also the reality around as well, like how this is going to work out, giving me some harsh advice as well, just like right at the beginning you said about commercialization, how is this going to survive. So I want next guys to think about that how is this going to survive, right? What is the critical path, where is going to be, who are really friends of brand, real friends, and don't be over optimistic, maybe a bit pessimistic as well, not extreme pessimistic, right? And I think Seagull team is very enthusiastic, very hardworking, very passionate. People, at least you allocated to work on ToiletSeva, they were always they were working from the bottom of their heart. I could see it. They were passionate about it. They also wanted to do something different, so they were enjoying basically, which is a good part of it. And together, I'm sure we can do much better next time. Whenever somebody comes to you for this kind of concept, you would have also learned, all of us, from this. So I thank you, Samir, you personally, and your team as well, for going above and beyond basically to help me to get here.
Great. Amol, thank you so much. Thanks for being on this episode of Dreamers to Doers. And I'm really happy that you're not just a regular dreamer. It's not been a profitable or a commercial business case. I know the challenges you go through even today, but keep doing. I think that's what motivates everyone who's watching this particular episode, and wish you the very best. And if I can say this in my humble capacity, I think you're making India proud. You're definitely making Pune proud. And I have somehow in this feeling deep down that things will improve, things will change. Probably we in India are not as tolerant as we are known to be. Okay, we are demanding better things, either from the government, either from schools, from private enterprises. So ToiletSeva's mission of every toilet, clean toilet will become a reality sooner than later.
Thank you, Samir.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for
Yeah,
inviting me, hosting this. I really appreciate, enjoyed conversation with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
So friends, we come to an end to this episode with this amazing, humble and extremely sharp and intelligent Amol Bhinge. And we also would like to thank Nikhil, his co-founder, for the excellent work they've been doing in India. So till next time, thank you very much from the sets of Dreamers to Doers.